Hi, if this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Shantae and I share tips on digital marketing and ways to grow businesses and bottom lines online. Today, we're talking about ways to rethink or atomize your content. What is atomization? Let's go to one of our favorite resources for asking questions where Franz Rydell says, atomized content basically implies sharing your content in small bits, i.e. breaking it into atoms. In the modern concept, atomized content means breaking bigger data into smaller pieces and distributing it separately. The perks of doing this are, 1. Content becomes more findable, and 2. Content gets consumed more. Think of it as scattering the bait. Here are 5 tips you can use to rethink or atomize your content. If you like any of these, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I post videos every Thursday. Let's get to it. Number 1, take stock. See what you already have and see if you can edit that content into smaller pieces that can stand alone. An example of this is frequently asked questions. If you have an FAQ section on your website, share those individually in unique ways with a link pointing back to the site with more FAQs or more related content. If you don't have an FAQ section, create one, and then share those individually in unique ways. Another way to do this is to adapt existing content to be reused. Our CEO, Chris Bennett, shared ways to do this at an SMX Advanced talk. I'll leave a link to the full deck in the description box below. Number 2, plan from the start. Don't just assume you'll be able to reuse content. When planning, plan with atomization in mind. Plan how you can pull many pieces out of a larger piece of content. BuzzFeed is a great example of doing this over and over again. Another example is when storyboarding a video or a presentation, consider how it can be parsed out so that each segment can be part of a mini-series and shared with or without context of the larger video or presentation. This is a great way to develop content that serves as a commercial for the entire piece. Number 3, atomize by audience. Recognize what content outlets your audience will be using and cater to that. If you're not sure what outlets your audience will be using, that's okay. This is where competitive research can provide you all the information you need. Here's a basic guide on how to do competitive research. Number 4, atomize for your sales funnel. Next step in knowing your audience is to know their motivations, which helps you understand where they're at in the buyer's journey. So it's important to atomize your content based on your users' behaviors. And understanding how your user behaves is a lot different than what most professional marketers think and will tell you. Enterprise Campaign Manager PJ Howland says, the user is going to do what they're going to do. Sure, single calls to action on a blog post can work, I've seen them work, but the majority of your perceived buyer's journey is created by the buyer, not the marketer. He goes on to share how to execute a flawless content funnel audit, where you'll walk away with content ideation for 4 major buckets of content within your sales funnel. Those 4 buckets are awareness, consideration, conversion, adoption, and expansion. I'll leave a link to that walkthrough and free template in the description box below. Number 5, syndication. Publish once and populate all the platforms. There's a plethora of ways to serve up content and a plethora of places to serve up said content. In the case of a podcast, you can set it up so when it publishes to your website, it also populates iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher. Related assets can also be published on SlideShare, YouTube, or Vimeo. Possibilities are endless, so use your imagination and consider how each piece can live elsewhere. That's it, 5 tips to rethink or atomize your content. Until next time.